ban as well. Yes, the Chelsea captain, John Terry, is considering whether to appeal after being banned for 4 games for using racist language towards Anton Ferdinand. The Football Association has also fined him £220,000. That's about 10 days' wages. Well, the FA's verdict comes after Terry was earlier cleared of racially abusing the QPR player by a magistrates court. Well, joining me now is the former footballer Paul Mortimer, who also works with the charity Show Racism the Red Card. Thanks for joining us, Paul.
Good morning.
Terry, as we said, has already been cleared in a court of law. Is it right for the FA to take this stance?
Well, yeah, the FA are different from the Court of Law. They have their different rules and set procedures and standards, and I think what they're saying is, you know, as footballers are role models, it's about how we conduct ourselves on the football pitch. And were the words used, and they were admittedly they were used, so it was, I think it was fairly obvious that something was going to be done about it. I think it's also important that we welcome the verdicts, and we're definitely going to have to wait and see what the full report says, because, you know, obviously that's what John Terry's looking at too. Of course, I mean, he can, of course, appeal this, but what do you think this punishment and the message, what do you think it sends out? Could it be a turning point? I hope so. Hopefully it sends out the message that the FA are taking this seriously, that there is no place in football and society for that kind of language, for that kind of conduct, for that kind of behaviour to be used. It just isn't on. You know, again, footballers are role models, and in my job at Show Racism and Red Card, we go into schools and we speak to kids, and the kids, year 7s and 8s, are on point. They totally understand these situations and the wheres and the wherefores of them, but they are still a little bit confused on parts of it, and it is important that I think that they see there is a conclusion to it. There is a consequence to the behaviour that they see, because they do copy it. Of course, this verdict comes not long after the Luis Suarez verdict as well. We know that progress has been made by organisations such as yours in racism and football. Is it still making progress though? Because there are reports in some papers today that black players are considering withdrawing their support. It's making progress. It's slow. There's absolutely no two ways about that. But we must, you know, we must be honest. I think we lead the way in Europe in terms of combating racism and discrimination. But before we give ourselves a pat on the back, these things highlight the fact that there is more work needed. And it is not often about, you know, condemning or punishing. It's about educating. It's about everyone understanding that, you know, the colour of someone's skin has nothing to do with what goes on a football pitch. But if you start using that type of language, there are consequences to it. There is punishments there, and you must accept that, you know, that if you use that language, you will be punished. Okay, Paul Mortimer, thanks very much for joining us. Thank you very much.